Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to Empowering the Business of You on our new YouTube channel.
Yes, we're very excited to have you here, and we are excited to get going with today's conversation.
Today's conversation is about fear. And we can see it in our everyday lives with what's going on with this outbreak of coronavirus. And people are letting the fear dictate their lives without going to the facts.
Yes. I was going to say that fear can be, it can be, it's a filter,
Right.
it skews vision. It knocks you off course.
Right.
It easily distracts you. Fear is a component that really is used to cause someone to stay stagnant
Right.
in their current situation or to even revert backwards.
Right. Fear tells us to do three things. Freeze, meaning do nothing. Run away, or attack. And any of these things, freeze, run, or attack, can be verbally, can be energetically, can be physically. So it's not just to one thing. So you want to look at in your life where today, let's look at today and moving forward, where fear is taking over your life.
Yes.
And how it's affecting your life on the daily, how it's affecting your business on the daily. And for those of you who have businesses, how has the fear going on in the world today affected your business, and what can you do to help mitigate those fears?
Absolutely. I think probably one of the biggest things that I see with clients is the fear of, a judgment, fear of other people's opinions, even,
Oh my goodness.
fear of things that don't even exist yet. Like
Right.
You're afraid of a story that you've made up. And so just really
Right.
Considering,
That's a good thing.
the
It's
source.
the story you made up in
You
your
know what I
head.
mean? And so now you're
Right.
afraid of something that's not even real. And the reality is that on the other side of it could be your freedom.
Right.
And we are so thrown off that we're, not able to really fully, experience the success or freedom or the things that we're striving for because we're really living on the other side of fear.
It really prevents us from making thought-provoking, intelligent, informative decisions that can affect our everyday life. It puts us in a box.
Yeah.
And when we can't see a way out of this box, we become stagnant. We become immobilized. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that when we're in that space that we're looking at everything available. So just for an example, I was having a conversation with my financial advisor this morning and looking at how the stock market has tumbled over the last few weeks because of what's happening. Well, my brain doesn't go to, oh my God, I'm going to lose all my money. My brain goes to, where are the opportunities for me
Cha-ching.
to exactly. Because when you look at the history of the businesses that you are investing in, and historically, their business plan is good, their means for making money is good, and everything works, but just because of what's going on right now, they're at a downturn. I'm looking at for buying opportunities because there are those buying opportunities. We just have to be cognizant of, okay, where am I going to invest my money in the short term? Where am I going to invest my money in the long term? Because historically, these businesses have proven themselves, but they're just, they're at the mercy of what's going on globally right now.
Absolutely. The other thing to consider is that every time there is a downturn somewhere, someone else is experiencing an upturn.
Correct.
So just as much as we're looking at right now, the travel industry and airlines and all this stuff going down, oh my God, like Purell and toilet paper,
They're
like,
going up.
you know what I
Exactly.
mean? So there's always another side.
Right.
It's not like it goes down a well, it goes down and someone else
is
going up. And so you want to be able to have the foresight and have the mindset of, okay, how can I position myself to leverage what's going on? I mean, people who were selling, masks all of a sudden are like, we're out, we're
Right.
completely out of stock.
Right.
And so it's just a matter of what's going on. Something is always going on in the world, and something is always on the up and down, and you want to be in the right place. The thing is that we're emotional.
Right. We let our feelings dictate our decision making.
And that's always bad.
Well,
in the sense of in the sense of professionals, because professionals are not moved by emotion, they're moved by facts, and so they are banking on the fact that the general population is moved by emotion, and that's what flows the market.
Thank you. Right. And when we think back, for those in America that are watching this, when we think back to 9/11, and we think about how air travel just went dead after 9/11, no one wanted to get in a plane. That came back, and it came back strong, because after a while, once the information flow of this coronavirus becomes, this is what you need to do, here are the testing centers, here the vaccine is ready, there's going to be a period of time where it's going to be a lull, and maybe just straight across the board, and then all of a sudden things are going to get back to normal. People are not going to be afraid anymore. They're not going to be afraid to go places. They're not going to be afraid to fly. Most of what's happening now, people are, companies, organizations, South by Southwest canceled theirs, Coachella canceled. They just moved it out because as an abundance of caution, until we get a handle on what the facts are concerning coronavirus, they want to make sure that people are safe. Because it's not going to do their business model any good if they create an environment where thousands and thousands of people are meeting, and all of a sudden, 25% of these thousands and thousands of people become infected because no one's taking the proper precautions.
The other thing to note is that you want to watch what's going on, because the insurance companies are not honoring a lot of the policies that were in place for events. I have clients that are out in Thailand, that are out in Singapore, that huge events were canceled, and because they didn't consider the virus an act of God, a natural disaster, they weren't honoring their insurances to allow them to cancel the event, and so people were losing, in that regards, lots of money. But the insurance companies were, they're going to hold their stake. They're going to make sure that they're protected, and so we saw a lot of that happening as well.
Yeah, just, take a breath. Literally pause and take a breath. Something that I wanted to talk to you about is we have a seminar coming up on March 28th. And I think we're going to reevaluate just because of the climate. We don't want people to be afraid to come because of being in a room with
other people.
And it doesn't do us any good to present something where nobody is there.
Yeah, we've been, so we definitely, stay tuned, because we're going to make that decision, and we'll definitely let you know. I know a lot of people have been really excited and interested, and we were getting a lot of traction. And so we're here. We're not going anywhere.
No.
We'll be able to.
We're in it for the long haul.
Absolutely.
We're on the train.
Yes. The tracks.
We're going.
No noises.
No noises.
So, so the thing is that the one thing that really got me in terms of what's going on now with the virus is that, what it does is that it pushes people, it reminds people to do what they should be doing anyway.
All along.
It's
all along.
You
it's
should
the due
wash
diligence.
Your hands.
Yes.
You should.
Have you seen the memes?
You should stay homesick.
Have you seen the memes?
I haven't.
So some of the memes are like, people are, the funny thing is, like, people are like, I've been washing my hands the whole time. If you're telling me that you haven't, that's pretty scary. And the fact that you're buying up all the toilet paper and the paper towels. I was at Costco yesterday, and I asked the lady, I said, what is the thing that everybody's buying all the toilet paper and the paper towels? She goes, we don't know. So, well, what happens? You ask them why? And this is their answer. This is what people tell the clerks and the people at Costco of why. Well, everybody else was doing it.
Wow.
So
I need everybody to buy a corporation.
Right? Serious.
Exactly. Why'd you buy one?
Because everybody else is doing it.
I gotta protect myself. I don't know why.
What is toilet paper gonna do for the coronavirus? And if you're not using toilet paper all along, that's a whole nother problem. Seriously.
Yes.
And we look at, people want to follow. They want to follow the masses.
Yeah.
When can you stop and take a breath?
Wow.
And
you just said that, and my brain says, people love to follow the fear.
Oh my God, that is perfect. Following the fear.
That's what the masses do.
Yes, we follow the fear.
They follow the fear. Right off a cliff they do.
Right. Right.
Man.
You know, in a nutshell, when you have this kind of, I know, following the
Write that
fear.
down.
In a nutshell, when you're in this space like we are now in the United States and globally, is really pay attention to where you're getting your information.
Yes.
Facebook is not it. If you want to go on the CDC website, if you want to contact medical personnel who are in the know about what this is and how it's transmitted and what to do and things you can do to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Someone like me who has stage 4 cancer in my body and I have extensive lung issues,
Yeah.
I'm not even remotely afraid. You want to know why?
Why?
I wash my hands. I sneeze into a tissue. I take things, immune boosters to keep my body in optimum health. I'm not afraid to go anywhere. The pandemic becomes a pandemic because people become afraid.
Absolutely.
And as long as the information that's out there is accurate as best it can be in terms of that flow of, you know, how can you get it? What can you do to protect yourself?
Yeah, and who is really at risk? You know, when you look at
Right.
the data, a majority of the people that have died are
already at risk.
They're already at risk.
Their immune systems are compromised already.
Absolutely.
Heart disease,
You know,
lung disease.
A lot of them
high
are
blood
older,
pressure.
and
Right.
we're just grateful because my, you know, one of my best friends is a doctor, and she was telling me one of the major things that's the difference between this and the flu, which, you know, people die.
Right,
of
die from the flu.
And she
Exactly.
was like, one of the major things she said that she's really happy about because she has a little one is that, you know, it doesn't seem to latch on to younger
right.
children in terms of
Right.
being able for their immune system to be able to fight it off.
Correct.
And so that's really, you know, a good thing. And my son, you know, has chronic lung disease. And so just being very cautious for him and what's going on.
Right.
And it just, you know, like you said, being informed is so important.
Right. And remember, coronavirus, the actual coronavirus, not COVID-19. And I think that's where a lot of people misunderstand. COVID-19 is the virus that they're developing a vaccine for now. They're developing testing for now. Coronavirus it's a flu. It's a form of flu. And if you look at the history of coronavirus, it's already been around. It's this new strain of COVID-19 that is what's going on.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware that even if you test positive for coronavirus doesn't mean you test positive for COVID-19. And those are the things that you want to be aware of and not freak out and think that it's a death sentence for you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So be informed.
That's it. Be informed.
You know, and that really will make the difference in being able to deal with what's coming up next and really kind of
Right.
be able to combat the fear, you know, that's going on with people right now. So we want you to be encouraged. We want you to
Right.
be inspired. We want you to
Right.
continue to move and invest and do the things that you need. Watch what's
just-
going
right.
on. Leverage what's going on around you. Every time someone, you know, things are going down in one area, that means another area
is coming up. Right.
And so you want to be in the coming up area. You know, one thing that I learned early on, you know, we learned this even as in school. They say, you know what, the good thing as far as like stocks and when you're investing, you want to be able to, like you were saying earlier, you want to be able to buy when it's low,
Right.
And you want to be able to sell when it's
high.
high. But what happens is because we're emotional,
People get so afraid.
we
They
get afraid
feel like they have to
and we're
dump right now.
emotionally driven.
Right.
All of a sudden, that stock starts to drop, and you're now afraid, and you're going to lose everything, and it's
Right.
dropping, and it's dropping.
And
then-
let me sell. Let me
and
sell.
let me
I got to
just
get
sell
out of it.
because
I got to
I
get.
wanna-
Oh my God.
you know, I got to get out before I lose everything.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the fear talking. That is not wisdom. That's not, you know what I mean, you know, a high intelligent, you
Right.
know what I mean, investor. That's somebody who's afraid because you're watching it go down and you're thinking, oh gosh, I want to jump ship before everything is lost. Not realizing like, ooh, this is a time to buy.
It is a time to buy, or well, maybe not just yet, but really just paying attention. Which brings me to having someone in your corner, having an advisor that is tried and true, having an
Yes.
advisor that pays attention. Usually, if you have a financial advisor, they are also invested in the market.
Yes.
They are also paying attention to the trends. They are also paying attention to the data, the actual data. and they talk about, you have so many different companies. You have Morgan Stanley, you have Trade Desk, you have Merrill Lynch, you have Charles Schwab, there's so many different companies that have advisors that can truly help you.
Yes.
And when you want to find an advisor, you find someone that fits what you need.
Yes.
You find someone that can help you grow and they do their homework. Meaning, some questions you might want to ask is, how are you invested in the market?
Yeah.
What does your portfolio look like? Because they don't want you to invest in something that's going to lose money because they don't make any money.
Absolutely.
Right?
Or at least that's the way it should be set up.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So you want to watch those things because risk tolerance, communication, those are all things
Very
that are vital.
important.
You want to be able to have an advisor on your side that understands, your tolerance for the market, and that you can communicate with, so that as things are happening, you're like, hey, what are we doing? Stuff is changing. Are we making adjustments?
Right.
What's going
What
on?
do?
What do you
Pay
see?
attention.
What's next?
Right.
What should I be ready for? Or is there something to take advantage of? You want to be able to have those rich conversations
all the time,
so that you can be a part of navigating your wealth.
I talk to my financial advisor roughly once, twice a week.
This one, she does.
I do. And the reason being is because information and knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
And the more information I have, the more I'm going to be able to make an educated, informative decision on where I want my financial security, my finances to go. And I don't just think about, oh my God, there's going to be a recession. I've already taken steps 2 years ago to modify in the event of a recession because we didn't know where things were going to go. And I wanted to be sure that, okay, let's do this. And working with my financial advisor, we bounce information off each other. And where I don't know, like I get these gut feelings, I get these intuitive things that come up for me, and we talk about it. And he'll pull me back if I need to pull back. But he also recognizes that sometimes when I get this intuitive thing, that my run rate is roughly about 700%. That's how
you can't beat that. I mean, the thing is that, what I love about you is that you're an active, she's active in her portfolio, and a lot of people aren't, it's just kind of like this thing.
Set it and
they're
forget
like,
it.
Oh, where's that report once a year? And it's
you
like,
can't do that.
So just be involved in your own life,
That's also,
like participate,
yeah.
And
it doesn't take much to recognize, again, you want to make sure that you have someone in your corner that it's about relationship. And do I trust my financial advisor 100%? Yes. Did I start off that way? No. It had to build because I had to watch what he was doing. I had to watch his actions, how he spoke, what he was looking at. So, quick story before we go. Just to recognize in this decision making and fear, I don't have blind trust. Let me put it that way. I don't have blind trust, but I also don't let fear dictate my life.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I'm still here. Maybe if I had fear, I would have been buried a long time ago, right? I don't have fear. I don't have fear surrounding my life. I don't have fear surrounding my illness. I don't have fear surrounding my finances. I don't live in fear. I don't let fear dictate what I do. And if you look at your life and you've let fear dictate, you can see where that fear has caused more harm than actually positive impact. So quick story. When my parents were first married and my mom's parents passed away, she received her inheritance. And back then, I think it was somewhere in the vicinity of $750,000. Now, let's do the math on $750,000 in the late 1950s.
Wow.
That would be close to, $3-4 million today?
I'm sure.
Right? She put her trust in a family friend who was a financial advisor, and they lost everything. So I don't know the full schematics of how that happened, but I know what it created after that, where my parents had extreme fear surrounding money, making money, holding on to money, and how they made their decisions throughout their life, and what I got from them, and how I really had to reevaluate my thoughts about money and my relationship with money, because if I stayed in the mindset that I was taught by my parents, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
So it's constant reevaluation. Really look at your life, look at your fears, and see where fear dictates your decision making today.
Absolutely. And then on that note with relationship, I think that it's vital to understand that we all do have a relationship with money, and it comes from our a lot of it can come from, you know, culture. It can come it comes from family, it comes from tradition. You know, really check where the source is of some of your decision making, as it relates to, you know, the fear of moving forward and the fear of risk, or the fear of, you know, some people are even afraid of success. You know, so there's some huge factors around that could be impeding the very success that you say that you want, but your action doesn't match the thing that you say. And so just be really cautious of that as you go through the week.
Think about it.
Absolutely do. Look out for information for our workshop if we're going to do it live or maybe virtual, or
maybe
change the date.
That. Yeah.
So either way, we're going to continue to put out the information. Please look out for more information. We're excited about we're excited about what's going on in the next season. Please be safe and continue to be informed, and
wash your hands.
Absolutely.
You know. And if it's something you've never done before, hey, try it. It's cool. It's a cool thing. Maybe even shower, bathe. Good thing.
She's funny. Have a great week.
Have a great day, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.